Well, hello and good afternoon, everyone. I think we're all in the time zone of being in the afternoon, the second half of the day. We are just about right at our start time. I do see that there are still a couple of people kind of midstream and logging in. So we want to give them just a couple of seconds, but did want to let you know that we're here and we plan on getting started on time. Okay, well, we are at start time. And again, I see that there are still people registering, but that's okay. We will got a few housekeeping things to cover here and just want to welcome everyone again. My name is Jill Ellis and I work for iResponse. I am joined by some amazing women on the call today that I will introduce in just a few moments. But wanted to remind you that there are places on here to either send us a chat if something comes up, technical issues, or if you have questions. We definitely encourage questions, comments. If you're seeking clarity, you have something you want to add to this from your own experience, we love that as well. So feel free in your control panel to use that space. We will wait to the end to go through those just to make sure that we're respectful of time. And if we bump up against that, that gives people an opportunity to exit out without missing the content if they want. So I had mentioned that I wanted to introduce some of my colleagues on the phone here. And I'm very pleased to introduce Carolyn Rand. Carolyn is our brand leader. She's been in the industry quite a while. The two of us have had the opportunity to work together in previous roles, but just really a hotel industry veteran. I have Allison Stripling here. Allison is one of our social media ambassadors and just a great breath of energy into this, and she's going to be part of our presentation today. And we have Sam Mentry. Sam also works with our creative. She's a social media ambassador and just a lot of talent on the web design. And she is driving our slides today and is going to help with some of the surveys and engagement that we're doing. So again, I'm very pleased to be working alongside these women and think you'll find this time valuable. So to get us started, we have a quick question just to gauge where everybody is right now with regards to social media. So we put a question up, which is, what social media channels do you currently use for your hotel or hotels? So if you will select one of the following that's on there, we have Facebook and Instagram, or if you have other. So we're going to give you a couple of minutes. I see some answers coming in for that. About 67% have voted so far. And looks like we're kind of holding there. So Sam, if you want to go ahead and show the results, that would be great. Wow, look at that. So 100% of those that responded are using Facebook and Instagram. That is great to hear. I think you'll be very interested in some of the information we have to share today. So a quick look at our agenda, just to know how we're going to spend our time together. I'll do a quick just top line of who iResponse is and why this space is important to us. We'll talk through 2020 changes in consumer behavior. We're going to cover social media video platforms, which is really the hot topic and the focus of this information today. We will look at Instagram, the role for hotels. We'll talk about social media content ideas. And of course, we're going to wrap up all this information at the end with kind of the key takeaways and summary, because we know sometimes it's good to just kind of boil it back down before we close out. And as I mentioned, we will definitely talk about the Q&A at the end. And I encourage you, if you've just joined, please comments, questions, put those in the question section. So a little bit about who we are, iResponse. So we're a service organization that's created by hoteliers for hoteliers. The one thing I always like to say is, if you need to know who we are, we're a team that has a heart to serve the hospitality industry. And the way in which we serve this industry really falls into three categories of services that we offer our clients. That first is monitoring and responding to guest reviews and surveys. So we work with hotels hand in hand to respond to reviews and surveys. on their behalf in their voice and brand voice and leadership voice. We also have clients where we do proactive social media posting. So perhaps, you don't have the staff on hand to be able to support that. We have a team, Allison and Sam and Carolyn all work in this space for us and supporting hotels. And a new and up and coming thing, and it's been interesting, like a lot of things that have accelerated in a COVID world, is replying to direct messages. So those instant messages that can get to you through social media, that could be Instagram, Facebook. A lot of times people are reluctant to pick up and call the hotel. They'd rather just, because they're already online, just send a message to you. We're seeing increased demand from our clients to help them navigate that. And even some of the third-party booking channels have ways for consumer to direct message you. So again, just a highlight of what we do. Of course, we're very proud of the clients that we serve. We cover all major brands. We're also very pleased with our independent properties and love seeing how they're blossoming in some of this season. And we have restaurants in that space as well. Most of those are connected with full service hotels, but we have about 1,000 clients globally. And before I turn it over to my colleagues, I did want to just give us all a moment of inspiration. We're so proud of how all of the brands have stepped up very quickly to put together inspiring videos about travel. Marriott and IHG both have done a great job with that. And on today's webinar, we're going to feature the Hilton one. So Sam, I'm going to ask you to play that.
Your next memory is out there. It might be a small one or a giant leap. Maybe it's the memory of you alone or one with him or them. It could feel like magic. Or it might just warm your heart. Your next memory is out there. It's just waiting to be made. To new memories, Hilton and our family of hotels.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sam. So we're going to move along here and get into some of the research and data behind social media behavior. And I want to invite Allison Stripling in. She has some information to share. So Allison, let's know what you're seeing in the research about social media and how consumer behavior has changed in 2020.
Thanks, Jill. Yeah, we're seeing some interesting changes with regards to content engagement and consumer acceptance. Prior to 2020, the sentiment was that we need to spend less time on social media and maintain a higher level of privacy. But since everyone's been spending more time at home, we've had to rely on social media to stay connected with friends and family, as well as learn more about what's going on with the world. So with that, individuals are spending more time, and 43% consumers have claimed this to be true. So social media is definitely evolving during the pandemic. And with that, we've seen a rapid increase with the creation of videos as a source of both news and entertainment, and we don't see this going away. Many brands, including hotels, are using these videos to engage and inspire potential guests while also building brand loyalty. Down below, the index shows that this shows this acceleration of creating and uploading videos. And this doesn't appear to be a short-term behavior, but a long-term behavior that will continue. So right now is definitely a perfect time to start building virtual and direct connections as travel begins to pick up. When it comes to sharing live videos, there are definitely a couple platforms we need to consider, and that's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. These are great tools to showcase your property in a unique way. Each of them have their own advantages and disadvantages, but we need to consider where we need to post these videos. This may depend upon your demographics or your target audience, as well as your social media goals. Or you may prefer one platform or the other due to ease of creating your content. Let's take a look at YouTube specifically, considering it's solely used as a video platform. And it's the second most viewed website globally with 2.3 billion users. Apple Apps is the largest advertiser on YouTube, and much of that is taken up by the music and gaming industry. So travel only represents about 3.08% of that. So it's something to consider when you're thinking about which platform to share. In a recent study, Social Media Examiner asked marketers that use live video to select the single most important video channel for their business. YouTube has historically been the #1 in that spot, but we're seeing a rapid increase from 22% to 46% in 2020 for Instagram stories alone. So that's growing 2 times faster than YouTube year over year. Facebook remains #1 in that category at 64%, with Instagram following up at 19% and YouTube just at 10%. So we've heard about the growth of Instagram stories. What's the deal with Reels? First, we'll mention TikTok. TikTok is a super fun video community that offers, or that covers pretty much any category, any subject, has gained tons of popularity since its release. And so as a result, Instagram has launched Reels, and we're seeing a tremendous engagement rate with this. We definitely think if you haven't started taking advantage of this, or at least started sharing on social channels, you definitely should. With Reels, you can create and share videos to anyone on Instagram. They're 15-second multi-clip videos with custom audio, and they offer some additional creative editing tools. These can be posted in multiple areas of your Instagram page, so it makes it way easier for guests to find these Reels. Comparing that to TikTok, it's strictly a standalone platform video sharing network where users can create a variety of videos that are up to 1 minute in length. It does give you some of the same editing options that you would get with Instagram, including effects and custom audio. On this next slide, we'll look at those additional features that Reels includes. They're different from Instagram stories in that they provide more advanced editing tools and can be shared to multiple areas of your page, including Explore and Stories. It will also appear on its own section of your profile, similar to Instagram TV, making it easier to find. Reels is a great multifunctional tool and has shown huge success, so we definitely encourage you again to start creating. So now you might be thinking, which channels are going to drive the highest engagement and conversions? Well, I think we should talk about demographics first. And here we see that Facebook is definitely the front runner with their monthly users being at 2.5 billion. However, 42% of those users have taken a break, and it's among the lowest engagement rate globally. Instagram is definitely the new king in town with the most active daily users and a large range of 20 to 40-year-old demographics. Twitter boasts the largest demographic, and 40% of users have purchased something after seeing it on Twitter, but their demographics aren't entirely clear. It still remains a great site for business-to-business connections, though. And lastly, TikTok. It's gaining excellent traction this year at 1.5 billion downloads and 100 million active users. That's more than LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, and Snapchat. But something to consider is that TikTok is driven by Gen Z users, and much of their user base is in India and China. So if you're working with influencers, your ad budget might go a little further with TikTok than Instagram. So these are all just different things to consider with that. We'll follow that up with a poll real quick and see what platform you're using for video. What is your personal favorite? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All right, we're getting some answers. So Instagram, #1, and YouTube followed that up. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing those. You might be thinking, should I consider another channel? Well, let's see what hotel marketing execs are saying. When we asked them, or when Arrival IQ asked them about their most influential channels, just like y'all said, Instagram posts, stories, and videos hit the top 4 with regard to engagement. We're definitely seeing this with our own clients that we manage, as Instagram is definitely tending to be higher on engagement than any other platform. Another part of the study looks at the top industries that social media influencers are working with, and hotels and resorts came in 4th place, which is just another indicator that Instagram is a great fit for this industry. And the average engagement rate is at 1.03%, so that's strong considering that rates have decreased across all channels since March and the onset of the pandemic. Here again, we're looking at metrics for social posts, and we see that Facebook and Instagram are our heavy hitters with regards to engagement. Instagram specifically delivers higher, but Facebook remains noteworthy for hotels and resorts thanks to high-performing posts. So now with that, I'll pass it along to Carolyn as we learn a few more facts about Instagram.
Great. Well, thanks, Allison, for all that interesting content that you shared, especially the data about Instagram. And it was so good to see in our poll that 75% of those that are on our webinar are using Instagram. But I do want to mention just some important Instagram facts for hotels that you may not have considered before. Starting with your brand presence on Instagram and how it can make a positive impression on potential guests. So over here in the chart, you'll see some facts about how users perceive your brand in categories like your popularity, your creativity, how entertaining your page is, if the content's really relative to them, or relevant to them, and if you're committed to building a community. In other words, are you posting regularly with engaging content? These are the things that they're looking at, and you can see that how they scored over in the chart. But an interesting comment that came out too in the survey was that followers are also noticing the tone of voice of your brand, which helps them understand your brand personality. And I did think that was really interesting, because oftentimes we might know, as a brander or marketer, will know our tone of voice, but that may not extend over into your social platforms. So it's just something good to remember there. Next is that Instagrammers follow at least one business, and let's hope that's your hotel. The percentages are really high on discovering, researching, taking action, or purchasing from businesses on Instagram. But an important stat to note is that as a total, 87% of those surveyed said they did take action after seeing product information on Instagram, and those actions included things like visiting, following your brand, visiting your website, or making a purchase online. So sometimes it might not be, unless you're set up to track it that way, it might not be as apparent that what they see is leading to a booking, but according to this survey, it does. And that supports our last fact, that Instagrammers play a large role in the sales funnel. We all know about sales funnels and how important it is to keep them going. But due to Instagrammers' high trust factor in what they find on your social channel, you can see a healthy 46% closure rate in there at the end of the sales funnel. And the results are high in every section of the cylinder, really. So, of course, different goals and objectives apply to different hotels. When you're using social media, it could be that you want to promote your hotel services, or you have a new hotel in your portfolio that you want to promote, or it could be adding followers is your goal, or driving bookings, which I know is what all of us want right now. But the important takeaway for Instagram is the strength and power of the social channel on the sales funnel. So now we promised you that we would share some content ideas for your videos and your post. So let's have a little bit of fun here and look at a few hotel videos that Sam pulled together for us. And these were videos that we saw on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So those of you who are using Instagram, we wanted to educate you today on Reels, and Allison did a good job of that. But let's look at that. And we've also got a YouTube video as well. So Sam, do you mind sharing that with the audience?
Sure, absolutely. Those were some great creative examples of how you can share your property on TikTok and Reels, but I want to show another example of how you can speak through a video and still show off your hotel very effectively online.
Hi, my name is Megan Greer and I am the sales manager for the TownePlace Suites in Irvine Lake Forest. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, our team at the TownePlace Suites has been very careful in ensuring the cleanliness of our hotel and the health of all of our guests. Everything gets sanitized, and I mean everything. This includes key cards, doorknobs, handles, light switches, and TV remotes. If you can imagine it, we're cleaning it. We also have sanitizing stations strategically placed throughout our hotel. All of our associates are required to wear masks at all times. We look forward to seeing you at the TownePlace Suites in Irvine Lake Forest.
So those are really great videos. And Sam, thank you so much for sharing those. You got to love those masks, don't you? You can get it over your mouth or your nose, but sometimes not both. So yes, some of those obviously were, you may wonder if you could do those yourself. But the biggest thing to remember about videos is that just be authentic, relevant, and make sure it's engaging, on your channel, and you'll have success. So as you think about the videos you could create and share to your Instagram Reels or TikTok, we wanted to give you some more ideas here to consider. Start with, what about Meet the Team? We think that's a good one that you can showcase your entire team, or you could do a series of videos introducing different departments with creative video content. You could have a general message from your general manager. It could be specific, or it could be about what the hotel is doing for a safe stay. And highlighting your chef is always a favorite one. Chefs love to prepare meals and be on video promoting. They could be promoting your restaurant, your hours, or your menu. And promote your bartender with a demonstration tip or a specialty drink that he or she may have prepared for Halloween or for the holidays. And spotlighting your sales team is one of my favorites, because they do bring in so much group business. So if you can host them, show them with hosting a wine tasting event at your hotel, or as they're headed out to make visits, or even in your meeting rooms or your banquet rooms, let them be featured in those rooms and show how your hotel is following the health and safety guidelines. Outdoor living area is another great idea to showcase maybe your guests relaxing by your fire pit or other amenities. If you've had barbecue grills on site or garden areas, guests really love to gather in those spaces, and so brag about them in your video. Other things to consider are pet friendly. All of us love those pet videos. I love that one that Sam showed earlier. They drive tons of engagement. So if your hotel is pet friendly, you'll definitely want to create a video featuring guests with their best buddy, or you can just have dogs in the guest room, or just the ideas are just limitless when it comes to pets. Highlight your charitable events that you're hosting or participating in. It could be a food drive or Toys or Tots with the holidays coming up, but promote how you're caring for your community even during the pandemic. We have one hotel that one client that we serve, and they're a full service hotel, and they took meals to healthcare workers, over the last 6 or 7 months. And we put those videos or posts out on their site, and it was just, the engagement was just tremendous. So I think, people want to know how your hotel is being charitable. And also feature your destination and what kind of local attractions are near you that could drive demand. And I mentioned the holidays, celebrate by sharing your decorations, what you're doing for your team members, if you're having team member luncheons or events, and showcase what's happening at your hotel. So keep in mind that videos that feature guests are trustworthy and convincing. So you'll want to include guests in your videos or stories whenever you can, of course, with their permission. And oftentimes they'll take video clips themselves and maybe tag you in their videos. So just asking permission to use that, you can include all of their video or part of their video in your own, of course, again, with their permission. So we do have one more video we want to share with you. And this one is just a great video that it's professionally done. So when you're looking at this, don't just keep in mind that the goal is for you to take a look at the video and for it to spark ideas on how you could execute maybe components of it in your own video, your hotel. So Sam, can you show that? Great, thanks Sam for that video, and I hope it did spark the ideas. I love how they showed the meeting rooms and banquet rooms, and the contactless check-in. Just hopefully it'll give you some ideas going forward. So if we can move on to your social postings here, and this is outside of videos, or it could be considered within your videos too. It's important to always communicate reassure your guest about your safety practices. Let them know about the touchless experience that they can enjoy when they check in and check out. How have your amenities changed with your hours, or any changes at all with the status of your amenities at your hotel. They want to see that. They want to know that in your post. Don't forget your popular attractions that we mentioned earlier about openings and closings, because those do drive demand, especially for leisure trips. So any information you can share with them will be convenient for them. They won't have to go search it outside of your site. And leverage photos from your guests with their permission. We talked about the importance of user-generated content, and more those types of posts gain more engagement. And I'm sure all of you have that FAQ list on your website, but just don't forget to copy that link and share it in a post, and that'll give them, again, all the information that they might be looking for. Looking at direct messages, this is something that we've talked about throughout all of our webinars this year, because we saw in the beginning of March, especially with the clients where we managed their DMs, that the quantity of DMs were just incredible. They were getting so many more than they'd ever gotten before, and the content was very different than the content they had received, questions they'd received before. So be sure that you answer and respond to all of your DMs, not just on Instagram, but on Facebook, Twitter, or any other channel where you receive direct messages. And responding to them quickly is the key. They expect almost an immediate response. So it's important to get back with them quickly, because they might be in the middle of their decision process, or it could be, they've already made the booking and they have a question before arrival. But those kind of quick answers will boost trust and gain relationships. And show care and compassion in your responses. That's demonstrating your heart of hospitality. We know how important that is. Not quick and short answers, but just give them all the care that they need. And building those relationships comes from answering the questions and resolving the issues that they might have. So now we're just going to take one little quick look about the latest consumer sentiment to travel when it comes to fall travel. And we'll share the information that TripAdvisor has put out in their recent report that their analyst team studied. including their platform hotel search and booking data from stays for September 1 through November 30th. And the results showed that 76% of US travelers still want to travel. That's really not surprising, I don't think, for any of us. I think we all are just ready to get out and go, but they want to enjoy experiences the way they used to, but yet they realize that safety is first. But the good news is 65% of them will keep their getaway planned, and probably domestically, and some with shorter stays than before. So you see 2 to 5 night stays maybe, or in 36% bookings were short at 1 night stay. But it's good to see that people are still booking and getting out there. They just don't want to give up that experience of travel. Now it'll be interesting to watch how these trends change in the winter months, and we'll keep you posted on that too. So now I'd like to turn it back over to Jill and to take us through the remainder of the webinar.
Great, thanks so much, Carolyn. A lot of information here, and we are right at our ending time. So we understand for those that have other commitments, if you need to jump off, we're going to just go through key takeaways and then answer any questions that have been submitted. So real quick, highlight kind of our key takeaways from this is that consumers are spending more time on social media in 2020. We've probably all experienced that personally as well. And video creation has and will continue to accelerate. So again, just making sure you're brainstorming with your team and understanding how best to maximize that. You know, YouTube is still the most popular video channel, you know, although other channels are more relevant for hotels. So video platforms like Instagram Reels and TikTok vary by features and ease of use. So again, making sure that you're not just leaning into, because of YouTube's popularity, you're understanding the right channels for your audience. And demographics of social media channels differ. So again, just aligning and ensuring that your channels are lined up with that hotel's target guest. Instagram, including posts, stories, reels, it just continues media channel among hotel marketing executives. So that's in that survey information. And this channel also has the highest engagement rate. Social media strategies for your hotel should include the use of videos, as they are driving high engagement ratings and bookings. So again, just working with your team and understanding how you can, as Carolyn said, authentically bring that to life for your property. And I am going to take a second and check in with Sam to see if we have any questions from the group so that we can answer those.
Yes, we did receive one question. It looks like someone asked, how do I execute videos on the property level, and who do you recommend to do it? That's actually a great question, and if you guys don't mind, I feel comfortable answering that one. Yeah, honestly, someone who has the passion for posting, and that could potentially be someone on your staff that is Gen Z or millennial, would be preferable for it, just because they already are familiar with online trends. And you could even pair somebody in that position up with someone on your sales team and your marketing team, and actually collaborate with hotel goals and objectives for what you might want for the upcoming month, whether that's holidays or group bookings, weddings, whatever that might be. And also, of course, we talked about some attractions near you. Those are great things to feature on social, and someone on your team who may be a little bit younger could be great at executing that. Allison, is there anything that you could add to that answer?
Yeah, I think taking advantage of influencers and user-generated content, that would be a really great way to build a video portfolio for your hotel. I would dive deep into your tagged images and hashtags and see if there's any previous guests that you can reach out, ask permission, or reach out to a local photographer, influencer, videographer, maybe offer, you know, a free night stay or free services just in exchange for some video media. But there's a lot of unique ways that you can get creative and engaging content without hiring an entire film crew or, you know, breaking your marketing budget.
Yeah, that's a great point. It looks like that's the only question we have as of now.
Okay, great. Well, excellent. And that segues this to, if you have questions that come up, or even if you want to brainstorm with one of the team members, we're always happy. Again, going back to that heart to serve the industry, most of our team has worked in this industry or been connected to it in some way. So we're very passionate about it. We know that we're in challenging times, so we're with you in that. And our contact information is up here. Jay Ellis at iResponse, Carolyn R, Allison S, and Samantha M. And with that, I think we are at our conclusion here. I want to thank you again so much for the time. And if there's anything that we can do for you, we will be happy to do so. Thanks so much.